It was 3 o'clock in the morning when the phone rang, shattering the silence of a rainy night. Most people would ignore a wrong number at that hour, but not Anna. She was a young nurse, fresh out of training, and she had built her life around the idea that when someone needed help, you didn't ask why, you just went. She slipped into her uniform, grabbed her red medical kit, and stepped into the storm without realizing that this wrong call would change the entire course of her life. When she arrived at the small suburban house, soaked from the rain, she was greeted by a tall man with tired eyes and a sharp presence, the kind of man who seemed used to being in control of everything. His name was Daniel, a powerful CEO known for his relentless work ethic. But at that moment he wasn't a buzziness mono, he was just a father, standing helplessly as his little girl clutched her stomach in pain. His daughter, Lily, only 6 years old, was pale and trembling, and Daniel's hands shook as he tried to explain what happened. He had misdialed the number, desperate for medical advice, never expecting someone would actually come. Anna didn't hesitate. She dropped to her knees beside Lily, her gentle voice calming the child almost instantly. As Anna worked, Daniel watched her every move. He was a man accustomed to boardrooms, contracts, and power struggles, but in that fragile hour, he had never felt so vulnerable. Anna reassured him while tending to Lily, explaining that it was likely just food poisoning. Her calm presence was like a bomb in the storm, and for the first time in years, Daniel felt his walls begin to crack. The sight of this young nurse, drenched from the rain yet focused entirely on his daughter, left an impression on him that he couldn't shake. The night stretched on, with Anna staying by Lily's side, refusing to leave until the child was safe. Daniel brewed coffee, his usual armor of professionalism nowhere to be found. Instead, he found himself confessing truths he hadn't spoken aloud in years: how Lily's mother had walked away when she was just a baby, how he poured himself into work to fill the emptiness, how he constantly worried he wasn't enough for his daughter. Anna listened without judgment, her quiet empathy offering more comfort than he expected. For Daniel, who was used to people seeking his wealth or status, Anna's compassion felt disarmingly real. Over the next few weeks, what began as a single wrong call grew into something none of them could have predicted. Daniel asked Anna to check in on Lily from time to time, and each visit seemed to stitch together the broken pieces of his household. Lily adored her, clinging to Anna's warmth as though she had always belonged. For Anna, who had always carried her own scars of growing up alone, the bond with Lily touched a part of her heart she thought she had buried. And slowly, between late-night conversations and quiet dinners after Lily went to bed, Anna and Daniel found themselves drawn to each other in ways they could no longer ignore. But it wasn't easy. Daniel's world was demanding his shareholders, constant business trips, endless responsibilities. He struggled with the fear that letting Anna in meant showing weakness, something he had spent years building walls against. Anna, too, fought her own doubts, wondering if she truly belonged in the life of a man who seemed so far above her in every way. There were arguments, misunderstandings, and moments where it seemed easier to walk away than risk heartbreak. Yet, each time, they found themselves pulled back together by the one thing that mattered most: Lily. The turning point came one stormy night, not unlike the first. Daniel was caught in a late meeting, and Lily fell ill again. Anna, without hesitation, rushed over. She stayed up all night, holding Lily's hand, singing softly to calm her. When Daniel returned home, exhausted and weighed down by guilt, he found them asleep together on the couch, Lily's tiny hand clutching Anna's, both faces peaceful. In that moment, Daniel realized what he had been too afraid to admit: Anna wasn't just someone who had stepped into their lives, she was the missing piece they had both been searching for. From that night forward, Daniel stopped resisting. He allowed himself to let her in, to let go of the fear and the pride. Their love didn't grow from grand gestures or perfect moments, but from small, steady acts of kindness: late-night talks, shared laughter, the way Anna brushed Lily's hair, the way Daniel looked at her when she thought he wasn't watching. Months later, as spring replaced the long winter, Daniel stood in the very doorway where Anna had first arrived that rainy night. This time, there was no fear, no loneliness. Instead, There was warmth in the glow of family. Anna was no longer the nurse who answered a wrong call. She was the woman who had chosen to stay, the one who had healed wounds deeper than any medicine could reach. And for the single dad who had once lived behind walls of work and power, she was proof that sometimes life's greatest blessings come from the most unexpected mistakes. The wrong call had brought him the right person, and he never let her go. By the end, their story wasn't just about chance, it was about courage, healing, and the power of love to find us when we least expect it. And for anyone watching, it carried one message: sometimes the things that feel like accidents are really just destiny in disguise.